In the tradition of great detectives like Sherlock Holmes and Columbo comes Harry Crumb. But who's Harry Crumb? Who is he, you ask? A bumbling, inept detective who thinks he's more brilliant than what he actually is. Yeah, he really doesn't have a clue. He thinks he's on to something, but he's really not. I mean, it's clear to everybody else in the movie and to the audience that he's not brilliant, but it's just not clear to him. That's where the comedy comes in. And I know what you're going to say. He sounds like an Inspector Clouseau ripoff. Well, you wouldn't be totally wrong, but John Candy brings his own humorous charm to the role and not trying to do an impersonation of Peter Sellers. No, I don't think anybody with this film was more disappointed with this film's low score at the box office than John Candy. I think he was probably hoping this would become a franchise, and when that didn't happen, I think it really hurt John Candy, because he seemed like this was a fun character to play, and he plays it with such comedic timing and perfection. Really shows how good he is at being such a physical comedian. Paul Flaherty, the director, who John worked with on SCTV, and his brother Joe Flaherty, said, John, I couldn't think of anybody else for this role but John. John seems to become this character so perfectly. The film is about a wealthy young lady named Jennifer who is kidnapped and held for ransom. Who do they bring in to solve this case? Harry Crumb, because he comes from a family of great detectives. Okay, I'm not going to tell you anymore, but it's not much of a mystery. I won't say who the kidnappers actually are, but it's not really much of a mystery of what's going on here. I mean, I don't think that wasn't really the point of the story. I think the point of the story is just seeing Crumb get himself in these idiotic situations. And I gotta say, it's a very enjoyable film. It probably gained more of a following when it came on VHS. I mean, it's like one of those films that didn't do well in theaters, but did better on VHS. And it probably gained quite a cult following. And I gotta also say, Shawnee Smith is good as Nikki, the sister of the kidnapped victim, when she teams up with Crumb. And I gotta say, those two have a funny chemistry with each other. And I could see Shawnee Smith, of course, later became known as on Becker and the Saw series. She looked like she was having trouble holding a straight face, because I think stuff John was doing was just constantly too funny. She looked like she was having trouble keeping a straight face. She looked like you could see moments where she's just trying to hold in her laughter. And the other actors do well. Jeffrey Jones, as well as Elliot Drazen, kind of the Dreyfus in this movie, and Annie Potts was good as the stepmother of the kidnapped victim. It's clear to everybody else she's not a good character, a nice girl, and she plays that to such a tease. And Tim Thomerson was good as her boyfriend and as a man she's having an affair with. And let's not forget Barry Corbin as the father of the victim. Harry Crumb is an enjoyable film. It's a shame it didn't become a franchise. I would like to see more misadventures they could have did with Harry Crumb. I know people are going to say it was too Inspector Clouseau-like, but you enjoy watching John Candy in this. Clearly see he was having a lot of fun with this. So I'll give Harry Crumb an 8 out of 10. Sayonara.